So if you guys think I have a lot of energy now, you should have seen me as a child. According to my parents, I was like a squirrel who got electrocuted after chugging 8 cups of coffee. Like I had that much energy running through my little body. Apparently the energy just radiated off of my little body so much that when I walked into a room, you could feel it. And if my parents couldn't send me outside to get rid of some of that energy, they would have me jump in place or run up and down the stairs. But that didn't always help when my Aunt Jana came over. Now keep in mind, my Aunt Jana loved me, but she never wanted kids of her own, and she really wasn't sure how to handle that kind of energy. So whenever she would stay the night over at my parents' place in the guest room, she would draw a line at the door and tell me I could not come over that line. This was her safe space. This is where the energy needed to be kept low. But of course, I loved her so much and I wanted to have fun and play with her that I would stand at the threshold of her door just staring at her and vibrating with energy. And she'd just be like, okay. And I do still retain some of that manic energy, but it tends to come in bursts and then I need to pass out for a few hours. Thank you for the reminder, Mom. When I was a kid, my mom used to brew her own black coffee in batches and then keep it in the fridge, and she would use the most delicious creamer, so I was obsessed with her coffee. And of course, since I was a child, I was rarely ever allowed to even have a sip of her coffee because we knew what it would do to me. But there was one day, probably when I was about 9 or 10, where I was going to be home alone and Mom had asked me to go ahead and, tidy up the house a bit for her. So I asked, hey, could I please have the last little bit of coffee that's in the fridge then? And she was like, yeah, sure. So she leaves her work and I use her creamer to make a delicious coffee and I guzzle it down. And then I proceed to clean the house from top to bottom, moving rugs and furniture and everything. I mean, I was on a roll. I was having a great time. Right up until I try to sit down and relax after cleaning all day and watch some cartoons, and I can't physically sit down. Did I mention that her coffee was like jet fuel? I ended up getting really scared that I couldn't sit down and calling Mom at work going, what's wrong with me? And Mom was like, never again. Thank you for calling guest services. How may I assist? Hi, I was wondering if I could move rooms. The people next to me are really loud. Oh, may I go ahead and send my security up to the other room first and see if they'll be quiet, just so that way you don't have to move so late in the evening? No, I don't think that's gonna work. May I ask why? Well, they're making, honeymoon kind of noises. Oh! Yeah, it's been going all night, and it's 2:45. I kind of just want to get a different room. No, I completely understand, and I am so sorry. Someone will be at your room shortly to help you move your bags to the new room, okay? Okay, thanks, sweetie. It's my pleasure, and again, I'm so sorry. Okay, bye-bye. Ew. Did you hear that last guy just go off on me because we had changed his room type from a king to a double queen? He was sitting there saying, well, I can't possibly sleep in a queen bed. Dude, you're traveling alone. I'm pretty sure you'll fit. You'll be just fine. Yeah, I know it's annoying, but I'm used to sleeping in a king bed, so I get it. Like, it'd be hard for me to sleep in a queen, too. Well, I mean, I still sleep in a twin just fine. Really? You still sleep in a twin? Well, yeah, I mean, okay, think about it. In the end, a bed is just a shelf you put your body on when you're not using it, right? What? A bed is just a shelf you put your body on when you're not using it. I can honestly say I've never heard that before. So I had someone ask if I've ever gotten in trouble at Disney, and the answer is, yes. And just a quick preference, I've never worked for Disney. This is something that happened when I was a guest. So usually at Disney, adults over the age of 14 are not allowed to dress up in costumes to the parks except for during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. And one year I went to the party dressed up as Snow White. And I'm talking dress, wig, makeup, the whole 9 yards. And pretty much the second I stepped into the park, I had people coming up to me asking me for pictures. And I probably didn't get more than 2 pictures in before I looked over and a cast member is speed walking up to me. And of course, in true Disney fashion, she was very nice and very polite, but also very firm with the, hi, you look so cute. You can't be taking pictures, okay? And since I didn't want my pass to be revoked, I was like, no problem. But of course, all night people were asking for pictures, and my loophole is that I would tell them that I couldn't take pictures with them, but I couldn't help it if I was in the background of their pictures. But I played it sneaky. But then this happened at Laugh Floor, so I don't know. Teresa? Oh, hey, is the cat all done? Well, we've run into a little issue. Uh-oh. We normally don't allow this, but could you please come to the back into the kennels to get your cat? He's, not cooperating. Yeah, no problem. Lead the way. I can guess which one he's in. Oh, yeah. Hey, Peeks. I didn't know he could sound that sweet. All right, come here, you little brat. It's so awesome how much he loves you. Go away. Yeah, I'm gonna go hide behind the corner. What's that one company's tagline? Bags packed, plane booked, hotel not Trivago, please, on behalf of all hotel workers. As someone who's worked in hotels for my whole career, let me give you the inside scoop about these third-party reservation people like Expedia and Trivago and Hotels.com that you may not realize. Number one, pretty much nothing is guaranteed. Your room type isn't guaranteed, your view isn't guaranteed, even if you paid for an upgrade, still not guaranteed, and even your hotel itself isn't guaranteed. Which leads me to point number two. When hotels inevitably overbook their rooms, and I can make a whole separate video about why hotels overbook, when that happens, third-party reservations are the first to be walked to a different property. In the end, we're going to keep the people who are paying the hotel directly and not going through some middleman, especially if those people are members and have status at the hotel. And fun fact, at some hotel chains, if you have to relocate someone who has really high status at that hotel, sometimes you have to give them cash as an apology for walking them on top of covering their stay at the other hotel and doing a whole bunch of other things. And the last little fun fact about booking with these third-party companies is that you have made a contract with the third-party company who then makes a contract with the hotel, and we are unable to break that contract. And what that basically boils down to is that the hotel can't make any changes to your reservation. So if you can't show up, if you want to stay longer, if you want to leave early, we can't do anything for you. You have to call the third party. I cannot tell you how many times I have had someone call me saying that they've had a family emergency and they need to cancel their reservation, and would we please not charge them? And I have to say, it's not up to me. You need to call Expedia and wait for like 4 hours on hold to get a hold of a real person. And this isn't to say that you should never book with third parties, because in the end you could get some great rates that you couldn't get otherwise. But just be aware of the fact that the hotel itself is very limited on the steps that they can take in order to help you with an issue if and when an issue arises. Okay, this is the house, got everything I need, and I'm just waiting for, oh, hey boss, over here. Hey Jess, thanks for getting here safe, you look great. So, I need to brief you a bit on this party, okay? We've been setting it up all day, the client did pay for the full package experience, and I need to let you know that the birthday girl, she's a bit of a diva, she's a brat, okay? Oh, okay, fun. Yeah, no, she's been barking at us all day. You should see the way she talks to her mother. So I'm not sure how she's going to respond to you. She may talk to you the same way. So I just need you to be your normal princess self, okay? All right, no problem. As long as she doesn't call me out for wearing a wig. You got this. Let's go in.
Elsa, thank you so very much for coming to my birthday party. You've made me the happiest birthday girl ever.
Oh, well, of course. Thank you so much for inviting me. You know, you are so very sweet and polite. Really not so sure what my boss is so worried about.
Mom, where's the cake? Bring it over here already.
My goodness, is that how we speak to our queen mothers?
Oh, well, it's that, well, she just,
Okay, so this is the correct address. We're all set. We got a little bit of time before we have to go in. So, are you ready for your first party? I'm a little nervous, honestly. Oh, I understand, but I know you're going to do great. One last piece of advice, when you're in the party, you're going to have a lot of kids there who are all going to be clamoring for your attention, but try to make sure that you're giving the birthday girl most of your attention. Interact with the other kids, of course, but this is her special day, so let's make sure she feels extra special, okay? Interact with the kids, but interact with the birthday girl the most. Got it. Awesome, you got this. I'll be in there watching and keeping an eye on things, okay? Let's go in.
You see? Elsa, where's Anna?
Oh, well, she couldn't be here today, sadly.
Elsa.
Oh, yeah. You know, I just realized I haven't seen the birthday girl for a minute. Where'd she run off to? Well, I'm fired. Sweetie, what's wrong? What happened?
He hit me.
Oh, well, that wasn't very princely at all. Would you feel better if I gave you a big warm hug?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. All right. Now, why don't you come with me? I have a really special activity planned just for you, okay?
Okay.
Just this way. Come on. You're fine. You're fine. Great recovery. Whew, I can keep my job. So I'm sure many of us are familiar with this lovely human Tori Phantom. They are an amazing parent to their kids, and I have been very inspired watching their videos with the way that they approach conflict resolution with children. I work at the most magical place on earth, and no, I don't speak for the brand of the company. But every day I have the opportunity in my role as a concierge to work very closely with kids. And just the other day I had a family of 5 check in. It was mom, dad, older brother, older sister, and a little sister. And I got their room all ready for them, and I made up their key cards, and on their key cards I wrote everyone's name as it appeared on their reservation. But the littlest girl, Vivian, looked at her key, looked at me and says, "I don't want Vivian, I want Izzy." This little girl looked to be about kindergarten age, and both myself and her parents were a little confused. We said, "Your name is Vivian. Why do you want Izzy? Why wouldn't you want Vivi?" But she said, "No, I want Izzy." Her parents and I were still kind of like, but then her big sister stepped in and said that Izzy is a character in her favorite TV show, so that's why she wants to be called Izzy. And the little girl was like, so I say, okay, because it's no problem for me to write a nickname on a card. So I get a white piece of paper and a pen, and I get down on my knee with this little girl, and I prop the paper up on my knee, and I ask, how would you like me to spell it? I can spell it Izzy. And she says, no, I don't want Izzy. That's not how you spell Izzy. And I said, okay. We kept going back and forth, and there was no way of spelling it that she liked. She didn't like ISSY, and she kept getting more and more frustrated. And at one point, her dad tried to step in and say, hey, Izzy's how you spell it, just spell it Izzy. And I could tell that this little girl was getting more and more frustrated and more upset. And I heard Tori Phantom's voice in my head saying that even though this doesn't seem like a big issue to myself and her parents, this is really important for her. So I need to do my best to relate to her and make her feel heard. And she's getting really tense, really worked up, saying, it's Izzy, just spell it Izzy, I just want to be spelled Izzy. And I could see that panic and that frustration setting in. So I take her hand and I say, hey, princess, take a deep breath for me. And she nods and she takes a nice deep breath and she lets it go and she's feeling more relaxed. And I give her the pen and I say, how about you try spelling it for me? Now she's a 5th grader, she doesn't really know her letters that well, so she ends up tracing Izzy the way I spell it, but I don't call her out on it, I don't try to make her feel bad, I just say, okay, let's spell it your way. And then I make up her key card for her, I give it to her, and she is the happiest little thing in the world. Her parents are really apologetic, they're saying, we're sorry we took so much of your time, and I said, it's completely fine, I'm just glad we can make her happy too. If not for binge watching Tori Phantom's videos, I might not have taken that same approach with that little girl and made her so happy in the end. So go check out Tori Phantom. They are an amazing creator and amazing parent. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy more Disney story times in the future. Bye!